Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ace Alliance podcast. My name is Magda, and I will be your host. And today we are filming at the Alea booth. We have our own podcast box here, and I'm joined by Märit, the head of PR and comms at Alea. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a real honor, real pleasure.
Absolutely, and we are really loving the Alea booth here right now. So, right off the bat, how has the event been for you so far?
I mean, ICE is always intense. There's nothing you can get away from it. As much as you can talk about good feeling, good vibes, it's intense. The whole industry has come down to Barcelona, and our booth has been so busy. We've have an oxygen bar. We've got our hyperbaric chamber with us. So we're trying to sort of help people come to our booth a little bit and have a moment to breathe, to rest easy, and to just get away from the show floor intensity and just to sort of meet with good people and have maybe a little Aperol spritz. It's been good. Like the amount of clients that we've met, the amount of new people that we've met, that has been a wonderful surprise because now it's 2 years in a row in Barcelona, and that's home ground for us. So we had to go big, and it is a big space that we have. So we're loving it.
Yes, 100%. And when it comes to going big, are there any recent news or launches that you're most excited about at Alea?
So for ICE, what we did is we have launched our brand new agnostic jackpot engine. This is a tool that once you've taken our game aggregation, you are able to set up a jackpot campaign across any games, and you can seed it to any amount that you want. What I think is the most interesting thing for operators is that we also have a jackpot simulator tool. Mm-hmm. So you can set up your jackpot campaign and you can see and test whether or not it's going to be profitable. Now, jackpots historically have been very much of a retention tool and have really been sort of not necessarily particularly cost effective for operators. The way that we've set up our system is that because you can put the jackpot in any game on any provider, and you set up the limits and you set up the time, and you can even segment the players that you know will be the ones that will truly enjoy it, from like VIPs to sort of maybe just sort of penny players. It just allows you to make much smarter jackpot campaigns, and it turns jackpots into a profit revenue.
That sounds super exciting, super exciting. And just moments ago, you mentioned the chamber that you brought to your booth, and some of our audience may not know, which is a bit weird, that Alex, the founder of Alea, is running the Under Pressure podcast right there. So can you share more about the podcast? Where did even this idea came from?
Well, actually, the Under Pressure podcast is a very different thing from Alea. So this was very much Alex Tomic. He is the founder of Alea, and he came to me with the idea that he has been having a lot of like conversations with very high level executives that probably like most people don't really even know about. It's, you know, it's the kind of conversations that you have at 3 a.m. when you're really talking about your struggles, like how to get to the top, how the cost as well, and of all of this pressure. And the hyperbaric chamber is something that we actually had in the office because we provide this as a standard for all of our employees. So any of our employees can use a hyperbaric chamber. It's a oxygen chamber that's pressurized, and that can really help you in a multitude of health benefits. So when we started bringing the chamber, it obviously involved a lot of curiosity. And when we started talking about doing this podcast, the idea of like the fact that under sort of immense pressure, sort of like these diamonds, these sort of amazing people are created, sort of fitted really beautifully together. So they're two sort of like very side-by-side projects, but ultimately they sort of come from the same core belief at Alea, which is about that this industry is about people first, and it's sort of about being very open and sort of being very sort of communicative and transparent.
Yeah, absolutely. And this chamber and the podcast actually ties together the digital and the on-site side of marketing and iGaming. And many companies really struggle to do both, at a balance. Some people focus too much on the events, for example. How do you find that balance between the digital side and, doing events and on-site marketing?
Honestly, with great difficulty. But that's kind of the fun of it. I think that events are incredibly important for the iGaming industry. We're a very face-to-face industry. It's about the people you know at the end of the day. But we also have to accept that the sales cycle for the iGaming industry is very long. We can talk about when you come to us and you want a sort of game aggregation. Like, this isn't a decision that you necessarily make in a matter of days or weeks. Sometimes you know, and sometimes you don't. And then it can take a sort of like 3, 4, 6, 8 months and multiple events in order to close that deal. And that's down to sort of obviously the sales and the account manager. Our job from a digital and PR perspective is to make sure that in between the events, they still hear about us.
Yeah.
They hear our stories, they hear our voice, they hear our thoughts, they understand that why Alea is the person that they have to meet again at the next event. They have to come back and meet again until they get to a point where we become inevitable.
Yeah, you don't want to be one of the companies that come out of the cave like 1 month before the event.
Exactly. And to be honest, but also partnering with good people. And I'm talking about partnering with Rev Panda and with this alliance. This is why we've done this with you guys, because we know that it's on the build up to ice, and then past ice, you guys are going to sort of promote what you've done here, what you've created. You talk to sort of many people across the whole industry, and that gives us a nice sort of like reach and perspective beyond just ice, and then that's it, and we're done.
100%. And this partnership is really like something I appreciate personally. It's a really great one, especially since Alea has been so supportive from the very moment we started Ace Alliance and doing the podcasts and in video interviews. Alex was one of our first guests at my little interview in Malta, back at another event.
And the Riga event that you went to, that you did last year, and Alex was a speaker, he absolutely loved it. He was such a sort of specific space and place and time that it was quite different, and you did that very well.
I'm very happy to hear this. And this is actually one of the points that is really grounded in B2B iGaming marketing. Because, let's face it, marketing for B2B in iGaming is very different from what you see in other industries. So what makes B2B marketing so different? Like a couple of things.
I mean, it's two big things. One, you can't get away from the fact that even if it's first, it's online gambling. So I come from affiliate background. So I did affiliation for a long time. And the reason why affiliation is bigger in iGaming than it is in anywhere else is because of regulation. So that's the two things. We're in online gambling. It's a difficult subject to talk about generally. And then because you have such specific regulations in every single specific market, there's a lot of learning to be had. So you have to know what works in what market and when, which is where Alea comes in. We are a game aggregator, but I like to think that we're a little bit more. We're not just reselling games. We're a tech partner at the end of the day. And we help our customers navigate all of these different regulatory blocks, because we know what works in what market, and we can really help people sort of get through to the markets that they need. And from a B2B sort of marketing perspective, because we have that information, because we have that data, we can just we do the same thing. We find the right local partners. And that's the only thing that you can do, is just try and take it one market at a time, and accept that online gambling is always going to be a subject that is not going to be shouted out at the top of the roofs. And so you have to be clever, and you have to think of a different narrative than normal.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you were to name like one mistake that B2B brands often make in their marketing strategies, what would it be?
I think, and this is something that actually I learned about last year when I went to sort of the iGaming Marketing Leaders Forum that Clarion created in London. This very, very, I wish I had the name. I don't have her. It kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about the fact that the sales cycle for iGaming is so long. So I think people sort of, when you're trying to sort of figure out what the ROI of coming to one event is, that is probably the most difficult. You can talk about the number of leads, of course, but really what you're looking for is return on opportunity. So when you come to a conferences, what are the opportunities that you have helped create for your brand? And these are opportunities in sort of both medias, in interviews, in like how many touch points it's been since they've actually come and spoken to you like 3 meetings ago. So it's, if you're just trying to sort of cut down through numbers, ROI, one event, how many leads and how many of those converted into sales within like 2-3 months or 2-3 weeks, you will find that suddenly you're not investing in enough events. In the same way, of course, we can't get away from the fact that our industry has been flooded by the number of events. So you have to pick the ones that matter the most for your market. And again, going back to sort of like finding the right partners, is like finding the right events that are the local to what you need.
Yeah, this is a really great point. And now I'd like to turn a little bit to 2026, because we are just at the beginning of this, and everyone talks about trends. Even we do. We just launched the Ace Alliance iGaming Trend Book, where we featured, your CEO, your head of payments. But what about you? What kind of trends are you seeing from your side?
From a marketing perspective, I think we can't get away from the fact that there's a little bit of content fatigue. Mm-hmm. So it feels very much like there's a lot of content being published by every single brand, and everybody wants to educate everybody on everything that we're doing. And there is no way in this industry that you can listen to every single podcast, that you can read every article, and that you can sort of watch every video. So I think that for 2026, I think the smarter brands are going to look at, one, picking their channels a little bit more specifically. Like, okay, so what are the 2 or 3 key channels that are going to get my message across to the right people? And 2, also like localization. Like for us, LATAM and Brazil are huge markets, and they're up and rising. So their B2B marketing space especially is quite small, which you could see it as like it's not so much for me a challenge as I see it as an opportunity. Mm-hmm. Because if their space is small, if there isn't a huge amount of B2B marketing, that means that it's actually easier to find the right people who will be able to get the voices. Europe, for example, on the other hand, is so overflooded that actually trying to figure out who has actually got access to those C-levels, to those head of casinos, becomes a little, everybody says that they do.
Yeah.
But in the same with Africa, again, the B2B marketing space, not so well developed. But that means that actually I've had some really good conversations here at ICE with people who actually know the market in a way that was genuinely impressive. And I'm like really excited to sort of like really get into the specific markets of it all. So I think we're going to be looking at being much more targeted in marketing and create the content that resonates for those specific markets.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't agree more. And I love that you spoke about, being intentional with the channels, with the way that you communicate. So when it comes to people that are just coming into iGaming marketing, what would be your piece of advice for the people starting out? Don't be scared.
Be prepared to unlearn everything you know.
Oh, yeah. Been there, done that.
I remember coming in fresh face into this industry going like, yeah, this is how things work. And it's like, nope. We are a very young industry. And that's what I've been working in our gaming business now for 20 odd years. And sometimes I forget that we are actually a very young industry, because I've seen the development from like right at the very beginning, when we were, some nerds at a computer just putting up a single page website and just like playing slot machines, to like now where you have like big companies. It's been professionalized. It's very much heavily regulated now. And yet still, if you think about it, we are very much at the beginning, at the dawn of like what our industry is in comparison to, banking or finance or any of the other sort of big industries that sort of have this sort of transactional nature. So we don't work the same way as everybody else, because one, we're still very much growing and we're still figuring it out as we go as an industry. And two, you just never know what's around the corner. And just when you think that you've learned the rules change. So be flexible, accept that things are never going to be 100% perfect, and just whatever you think you know, you probably don't. But that's okay too, because you're always learning new things. And that's what I love as well. It's so dynamic. There's always something new.
Yeah. I love it. Märit, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And sharing your insights on B2B marketing and everything else. How can our audience reach you and Alea?
So please come and find us on alea.com. We have sort of the whole demo of who we are and what we do. Come to our booths. We are at multiple events this year. We're in Rio, we're in Sao Paulo, we're in South Africa, we're in London, we're in Rome, we're in Malta, of course. So if you want to talk to us, please reach out. And me personally, I'm very active on LinkedIn, because it is one of the most beautiful channels that there is in order to sort of be able to make noise in our gaming business. And yeah, please come reach out to us. We'd love to talk.
Thank you so much for this conversation, Märit.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you again, Magda. Honestly, I love having you here in the booth.
I appreciate it.
Really nice. Like, just having you, Farouk, here, like just around all the time. I find that a lot of the events, every single time that we come across, and you guys are like running from like one side to the other. We get maybe 5 minutes of conversation. So it's been so lovely having you here, so we can actually sit down and talk. You came to our wonderful event on Monday, the Palau de la Música.
Yes, it was
wonderful.
Incredible.
Yeah.
If you have not been there, you missed out on a lot. So
it was very special.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone watching. Please follow us on podcast platforms and social media for more episodes of Ace Alliance podcast.